Hello, and welcome back to another session of Creating Art Over 70 with signed Rufus. Today I'm going to continue on, in this session I'm going to continue on with phase 46 of 100 Faces Commitment, pastel painting. I deviated a little bit just to let this be able to dry. And so I did another little something in the middle, the Valentine's card 2026. If you had the opportunity to see that and watch it, thank you very much. But anyway, we're going to continue on with this piece now. I did do the fixative. I laid it in. This is really my first real attempt to really understand how it works, how it's going to impact the painting process and workflow directly. So I sprayed it on, and it really looks like it did quite a bit. So what it's supposed to do, and I was correct about it, it's supposed to take the pastel and kind of blend it into the paper, so you're able to get some of the teeth back in the paper when you're painting. And needing the more teeth you have in the paper, or the depth of the teeth in the paper, is directly related to how much pastel you can lay down on the paper itself. And so this is just regular pastel paper. This is not pastel matte, which has an incredible amount of teeth, and you can really layer quite a bit on pastel matte. But pastel paper should have some of that capabilities, but not as much. And so we're going to find that out in this particular piece here. And so that's all in. And what's really cool to me is I can see what they mean by dulls it out. And what it looks like to me is just that it pressed it into the paper, and a lot of the texture of the paper is coming through because the pastel is now part of the paper, what it looks like to me. I'm not sure till we get into the working process. And so when I rub my finger across it a little bit, I get just a hint of pastel, but not a lot of pastel. So the gist of that, it didn't take all the pastel and press it into the paper. Maybe I needed to do more fixative on it. I'm not sure. That's the learning process. From this, we'll get a better understanding going forward. And some of the areas, when I touch it, it seems to be really blended into the paper, but not totally. So I'm not sure if I didn't apply enough of the fixative. I did like 3 passes, but I don't think I need to let it dry to do the passes. So I just did 3 passes and then let the piece dry for the full day yesterday. And if it seems to be a problem, then I'll add more passes in the future. I'm not sure. I think I'll look into that a little further as to how much are the recommended passes across with respect to how many sprays I should do, and then get a better understanding as to some of the recommendations of how many passes I should do in order to accomplish a good blending of the pastel and the paper in that fixative process. Okay, so anyway, that's enough talking. Let's gear up and get busy. Phase 46 of 100 pastel painting, creating art over 70. Thank you so much for watching. Blessings. Another beautiful day today. While this piece was drying, I was working on a digital piece. I was working on a Valentine's card for this year. Each year I try to do that process, create a Valentine's card, mostly personal. I was working on it using Rebel software, which is my painting software of choice, as opposed to Photoshop or Clip Studio Paint or any of those. For some reason, I just like the way it works. It functions well. Photoshop is a very good software package too. Don't get me wrong. Now it's just that For some reason, I seem to always have drawn mental blocks when using Photoshop. I know my way around Illustrator relatively well, but when it comes to Photoshop, for some reason I seem to draw a little blank.
Hi, baby.
So it was pretty nice. I started off the piece. At first I was just gonna do black and white with it and see how it went, but I go, no, this is Valentine's Day. Valentine's is not a black and white day. It's a brighter day than black and white. It's more like it has color to it. Most of the time it has some sort of color to it. And so I was painting real heavily to try to make sure I got the tonal values correct, or the values in the under tone layer. And then I started dropping colors in on top of it, which really worked really well. I was surprised. But I was just trying something different for a change. Okay, I'm gonna stop this session here for a bit. I might paint a little bit later today, but for right now I want to stop, take a break, go out and get some air, maybe take a walk on the beach, relax for a bit. So what I've been doing here is I've been getting really tight, close, because I needed to work in some more of the details, especially in the eye areas. And I was trying to do it from a distance, but it looked like I was starting to miss. So I wanted to get in tight so I could really focus on the the what I was putting down on the paper and where I was putting it down on the paper. Because when I paint back, I have a slight angle because even though my easel is straight up and down, I have a slight little tilt to it. Not 45, not 90, not really bad, but just a slight little tilt to it. So it's not straight up and down 90 degrees. And so there's angles I see, and when I paint back, that gives me more of an angle, and so I want to make sure that I get the pastel exactly where I want it when I'm putting it on the paper. So that's why I get close and tight, so I can really see around my hand, around the pencil, around the brush, or whatever it is I'm using, to make sure I'm putting it exactly where I want it to be. And so I really trying to tighten up the eyes a little bit in this session. I worked a little bit on the mouth. I worked a lot on the mouth area, getting it a little tighter and closer, because I had it a little small. I had to widen it, get it a little larger, because when I was looking, I was like, the proportion didn't look quite right, so the mouth seemed to be just a little bit smaller. And so I'm glad I did that at this point, because in this section here, so when I widened the mouth, it put this side of the mouth closer to the right side of the face, and so that's good. It's very important to me. So when I start bringing in the right side of the face, when I start bringing in the shadow and the hair, bring it in, it's going to take away some of the actual face here. And so it's good that I have this laid in, so I know exactly the distance I need from this end to the mouth in order to go from here up to get an accurate proportion of this area of the face is what I want to get. It's pretty close. I know I need to come in just a little bit more. Just a little bit more. I think it's just a little wide because I got the nose coming over to where I needed it. I worked on that. And the mouth coming over to where I needed it. So it's really pretty much straight in line with the eye, the tip of the eye. So if you come down from the tip of the eye, you should cross this little section of the nose here. The tip of the eye should cross this little section of the nose here, and then come down and hit this area. Yeah, perfect. Section of the nose. Yeah, like that. Okay, so that's the angle we have here on the reference. The angles is like this. So I'll get that angle going right. Okay, so that's what I was doing. I was working on getting that close and tight. When I come back in the next session, I might work a little bit more down in the hand area. And I need to bring up this forehead area lighter. That's what I was doing in this session a little bit. Also trying to bring up the forehead area lighter and lighter while adding a lighter pigment to those sections. So I want to keep this area lighter, the nose lighter, this area light, these areas here lighter, well illuminated, a little bit over the lip area here and around the lips. I'll make sure I bring that out in the highlight areas when I get to that portion, and down in the chin. So I know I need to get into the hair, because once I get into the hair, a lot of the pastel will be dropping down on the painting. So I might, before I get, I think I might do that. I think I might come back and work on the hair first. No, I want to work down a little bit more here in this area, and then I'll come back and work on the hair. Let's see what we can do. Okay, well, I'm playing by here. I always let the piece guide me as to where I should be working. I look at it, I step back, I get up and I step back. When I'm standing, I just step back. But in this piece, I pause a lot and I step back and I take a look at it, and then I go from there forward. And so let me stop this here, take a break. I'll probably come back a little bit later in the next session, start the next session later on this afternoon, and do some more. Thank you so much for watching. Phase 46 of 100 Face Commitment, Pastel, Painting by Rufus, Painting with a Passion. See you in the next session. Blessings.